There's something really special about the Chinese language. It's this incredible ability to capture entire stories, full of wisdom and sometimes a little bit of humor, in just 4 characters. Today, we're going to explore one of my favorites. It's a timeless lesson about the funny and often foolish ways we try to deceive ourselves.
So these are the 4 characters right here. Together, they're pronounced Ling, and just looking at them, they form a complete picture, a little scene that plays out in your mind. This story actually comes to us from a text that's over 2,000 years old, the Lüshi Chunqiu. To really understand the scene it's painting, let's look at each character one by one. We'll start with the first one, Yan. This character has this really gentle sense of covering something up, to conceal it or to hide it from view. The next character, is so beautifully simple. It's the character for the ear. And our third character, Dao. This is where the action comes into our little drama. It means to steal. And finally, we have líng. This is the object right at the center of our story, a bell. So let's just put that all together. We have cover, ear, steal, bell. What in the world could that possibly mean? Well, when we put them together, we get掩耳盗铃, which literally means to cover one's ears while stealing a bell. And as you might guess, it's really a metaphor for the foolishness of deceiving ourselves, pretending something isn't real just because we refuse to see, or in this case, hear it. It's such a strange image when you think about it, isn't it? Why on earth would someone cover their ears to steal a bell? Well, that question takes us right to the heart of the original story. Our story takes place a long, long time ago, in the ancient state of Jin, during what's known as the spring and autumn period of China. A noble family, the Fan clan, had just been defeated, and their home was left abandoned. So, a man, seeing an opportunity, snuck into their empty courtyard, hoping to find something valuable. And sure enough, he found something absolutely incredible, a large, ornate bronze bell. But his excitement quickly turned into frustration. He had a big problem. The bell was way too big and heavy to carry, so how was he going to get this treasure home?
Driven by greed, he came up with what he thought was a brilliant idea. If he couldn't carry the whole bell, well, he'd just smash it into smaller pieces with a hammer he found nearby.
So he raises this heavy hammer and brings it down with all his strength. The result was immediate and just overwhelming. A deafening clang ripped through the silent courtyard. It was a sound so powerful it felt like it shook the very air around him. Panic just flooded his mind. If anyone hears that, he thought, they'll come and take the bell from me. And right then, in that moment of fear, his brain came up with a truly bizarre solution. He quickly plugged his own ears, thinking, if I can't hear the bell, then no one else can either. In his own little world, the sound had simply vanished. Of course, the man was caught. But this is where the story really transforms from a simple folktale into a piece of profound wisdom. The mistake he made is one we see all the time, that timeless conflicts between what we wish were true and what actually is. The thief, he created his own little reality. He mistook his personal feeling, not hearing the bell, for objective truth. But of course, the sound waves didn't care about his covered ears. They traveled just the same. This story is such a beautiful reminder that a fact is still a fact, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not. This story really teaches us that ignoring a difficult truth or an inconvenient problem doesn't make it disappear. We all have that tendency, don't we? That desire to just cover our ears to the things we don't want to deal with. And what's so powerful about this idiom is just knowing that people have been wrestling with this exact same human challenge for thousands of years.
You could totally see this in modern life. For instance, in a work meeting, someone might say something like, he keeps ignoring the terrible sales data, thinking it will just improve on its own. It's a classic case of掩耳盗铃. It just perfectly captures someone choosing to ignore an obvious reality, hoping it'll simply go away.
Learn Chinese one story at a time.